on this tour, I received so many donations, and actually many of you have come up to me already today and said, you know, I sent money to you. Some of you said, I never send money out of state, but I sent money to you. And I wanted to say thank you personally to every one of you. Thank you so much for doing that. It has driven the liberals crazy. They don't know how we could have been competitive with Harry Reid. We raised nearly $30 million from donations of less than $200. People who all over the country said, we want Harry Reid out. So thank you again for that. I also get a lot of questions about who is the real Sharron Angle. And the reason they ask that question is because of the caricature that was painted of me by Harry Reid and the press. So I wrote a book. It's called Right Angle, One Woman's Claim, Journey to Reclaim the Constitution. And in this book, I talk about starting out as a child in my dad and mother's small business. We had a motel in Reno, and my brothers and I cleaned bathrooms, made beds, those kinds of things that you do to help out in your small business. Then I went to college and got my degree in liberal arts. That drives liberals crazy too, because they can't figure out how an oil painter got to be a conservative. I changed my major to education when my husband and I married, and I knew we were going out to rural Nevada for 25 years. We have 2 children, and when my son was 6, he failed kindergarten. I, as an educator, said, I know what to do. I will homeschool this boy. And that's when a judge, legislating from the bench, said, I know it's the law in Nevada that you can homeschool your children, but the law ought to say you can't homeschool your children unless you're 50 miles away from the nearest school. That's when I realized that I needed to be more than just a voter, and I'm here to encourage you today. You need to be more than just a voter. Get involved at the precinct level. Get involved in your party and begin to work hard to make sure that we have a secure vote. The proceeds from this book, I donated it to a PAC called Our Voice PAC. And Our Voice is our vote. And we're using the proceeds of this book to go after a secure vote here in America. We need to make sure that we have boots on the ground giving integrity to that vote. The other purpose of it is to make sure that Harry Reid is no longer the leader of the U.S. Senate in 2012. And we can do that by making sure that we turn 4 seats in the Senate from blue to red. I then ran for a school board position, and I sat on a school board for a term. I want to recommend to you that you run for local positions. I was just talking with Michael Raymond, who has done just that. He's a city councilman. This is where it happens. All politics really is local. These folks on these city councils, on school boards, they are there to vote on fees and regulations that affect us every day. So make sure that you get good conservatives as council members and as county commissioners and as school board members. You need to be running. When my son, the one who failed kindergarten, came home one day and said he wanted to get his master's degree in education, I said, well, that would be great, but to be fiscally responsible as a family, you need to move home. And he said, well, Mom, I will on 2 conditions. I thought, well, this should be good. What would that be? And he said, well, the first condition is you get a life, and the second is it can't be me. So I ran for my state legislature, won a seat in our state House of Representatives that we call the Assembly. And in my first term, I was coming home many nights, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And one night he met me at the door and he said, Mom, are you ever going to cook dinner again? And I said, oh, honey, I got a life and it's not you. I say that to encourage you. Our founding fathers said that they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors for freedom. You still have a life to give to your country. You still have a life to serve your country with, and I will encourage you to find a place where your country needs you, whether it's at the precinct level or running for office. Find a place where you can serve, where you can give your life for your country. We have a little car over here. I was invited to ride on these big buses, and I was going to do that until Senator John McCain in the Wall Street Journal said, Sharron Angle and those Tea Party hobbits need to go back to their holes in Middle Earth. Well, Lord of the Tarp, read to the end of the story. The hobbits are the heroes. We win! So we're riding in the Team Hobbit Express. And we want anyone who feels the same way as we do to come and sign our vehicle. We're collecting signatures from Americans all across the nation, and we're going to drive that to Tampa, and we're going to say, this is who the Tea Party is. They want us to be an organization. We're not. We're not an organization. We're an organism. And we don't follow a person. We follow principles. We follow the principles of the Constitution, and that's how we know who we are. We're also sending one other message, and that's to Maxine Waters. She said the Tea Party could go to hell. Well, we have no interest in visiting her district. We are going all the way. We are going all the way to Tampa for the debate, and then to Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to leave you with these words. They're Churchill's words. He said, don't ever, 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 ever quit. We're not quitting. We're going all the way. Thank you so much, and God bless you.